Hello, welcome to day 27. Pretty cool, I'm almost to 30. How am I feeling today? Hopeful at this point. It's around 1 o'clock. Yesterday was definitely better. I was feeling like my body was looking up as the day went on. And HRV went up, slept really well again last night. I really fought to address the emotional outflow that's coming from the recovery. Not from the election, but from definitely within. And really focusing on handling that, accepting it, embracing it, moving it along as much as I can. I just feel like if I don't address that 100%, it will well up and it'll take longer to get to that coveted state of emotional and physical stability that I so desperately want out of this. It's again 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I woke up. Before I actually got out of bed, I felt great. Got up feeling a little bit off, but overall good. And as the day has gone on, I'm feeling strong. Like for the first time in 5-6 days, I feel like I could go outside and get working back on the truck or something like that. Not exactly a day outside I'd want to do that. It's windy and rainy, but it's supposed to be beautiful as of Friday. So today I'm going to practice a little bit of caution. I'm going to continue reading, studying. I already finished journaling for the day. I'm going to take care of myself to make sure that I really facilitate all the emotion coming out, really facilitate my body's total healing so that, again, I don't mess up or impede in any way, but rather support and strengthen my body as it seeks to balance out. So that's what I'm working on. That's how I'm feeling right now. One of the little things that I did have noticed is for the first few weeks, I noticed my skin just kept on getting better and nicer. And like the little skin test, you can pinch the skin on your back of your hand and see how quickly it retracts. 3 weeks ago, it would stay for 10 seconds. Now, 3 weeks ago, now it just goes away almost immediately. So that's cool, anecdotal, but cool. But once the emotions really started flowing a few days ago, I started seeing some redness and such across the bridge of my nose. Things happen on the back of my hand. I even noticed a small ringworm infection under my arm. And I've never had one go away by itself, but my body's successfully nailed it and killed it. In the past, whenever I've been going through a period of, as part of my emotional recovery from things that I've been through, particularly resentment, whenever I've been dealing with a lot of resentment, my face turns red. And that while I cannot really identify or articulate all the emotion that is flowing, I can say that I know where this irritation on my skin comes from, on my face. There is resentment coming out. And I think it's too much emotion all at once to, again, really explain it. But it gives me some context and lets me know what exactly is happening in my body. And I like the idea that my body is dumping resentment and all this other destructive, obstructive emotion out. I'll happily sustain the fast if that's what it's doing for me. A quick and important note on supplements. I have been continuing to do salt. I backed it off to half a teaspoon. I stopped. I didn't take any salt last night. I'm just going to take it night by night. My body tends to let me know if I'm hyponatremic, low on salt and such, based on how I feel when I stand up. When I'm low on salt, I tend to be very lightheaded. And that has not been the case. So I've been backing off on that. And if I feel any symptoms, I'll add some back in. But I don't want to overdo it. I also, today's day 3 that I started taking a iron supplement. It's a slow release, 45 milligram, I think, elemental. I was just going off of the deep exhaustion, fatigue that I was feeling. And done my homework. It's possible to become hyponatremic and low on magnesium, phosphorus, and all that stuff. And iron is one of the things. Iron is something I have a history of being low on. And I know my body's working like crazy. So I'm making sure I'm ahead of that. It's not nutrition in the digestive sense. So I don't believe that, and I don't feel from my experience that it messes at all with the quality of the fast. But I do definitely feel symptoms when I don't have enough salt. I don't have enough of these minerals. So listening to my body, I feel a lot stronger today. That could vary. I'm sure that's largely because that healing event is coming to a close. But I suspect part of it is because I'm sustaining the iron levels. As for how you should handle it, just mindfulness and be careful and pay attention. If you take too much of a certain mineral, unless you really overdo it, your body's just going to purge it. So there's really no harm, no foul. But if you are low on any of these minerals and you've got the symptoms to indicate that, try supplementing them and see if the symptoms go away. You're not messing with the fast, and you could very easily be sustaining the fast, because if you go way too low on these minerals, fast is over. Your body's going to shut it down. So that's my recommendation. Be aware and supplement as your body requires. I'm going to close today with a note on sustainability. It's something I think I've kind of addressed in the past. It's the question of whether or not the price is worth it. I'm on day 27. That's pretty awesome. I mean, I'm almost to a month. I mean, again, like I've said, if I were to break this today, it'd still be considered a win. I mean, geez, I'm impressed with my performance. I wish I had lost more weight, and I plan to continue. But the biggest advantage has so far been spiritual and emotional. I'm much more stable. I'm definitely happier. I mean, you can see it in my face. I'm a lot leaner, probably. Adjusting for water and digestive weight, at the end of 30 days, I will have lost a solid 30 pounds of body fat. So that's pretty epic. But it's still hard, especially at times. Like, for me, it hits me in the evenings when I don't feel good, or when I'm going through a healing event, like happened over the last 5 days. That hurt. It's just not comfortable. I'm getting back now today, 1 o'clock, after 5 days of hard work, to a point where I feel, at this moment, I feel good. I don't feel any hunger. My stomach and my body are all stable. There's no discomfort. That's cool. There's no guarantee it's going to stay that way. I may have another healing event ahead of me. But when that struggle, when that price comes due, can I look at it and say, all right, this is worth the price. I'm willing to pay the short-term price for the long-term gain. Because, if I'm going to a full 40 days, I still got 13 days ahead of me. While that sounds like a lot, it's a lot less than 27. So, I'm definitely on my way. Am I willing to commit to that? See it through? Especially when it gets hard? I, at this point, am, but I have to work at that commitment. And I want to see it through. I want to get to the point where I can honestly say, my body's done with the healing events. The stuff that could really mess with me in the future is gone. And I'm confident because I went 10 days without a healing event and my body's just cruised. And I want that spiritual and that emotional stability. I have found many of the emotional and spiritual, I'm going to call them mental and emotional, blocks up here in my head. They weren't just destructive, they were obstructive. They held me back, physically held me back from being able to feel and experience joy, from being able to connect with and have a good relationship with my wife and others. And in the past, I always figured I just had issues I needed to work through to be able to deal with that and obtain those blessings. But what I realized was, as a result of trauma and other experiences, this was emotional scarring. They were obstructive, and they had to be removed before I could make that progress. And I did not know that 27 days ago. That alone makes the entire fast worthwhile. And if there's more of that crap hanging around up here, probably shouldn't hit my head. If there's more of that crap up there, it's worth seeing it gone. So, yeah, that helps me answer the question is, am I willing to pay it's high, I'm not going to lie, a high short-term price to sustain this fast for a long-term benefit that I will enjoy quite literally for the rest of my life if I sustain these things that I've learned during the fast long-term. Yeah, I can do that and I want to do it. So that's where I'm at right now, physically, emotionally, mentally. I'm feeling better, like better than I've had in 6 days for sure. And I have hope that tomorrow I'll continue on the uphill climb, feeling better and better until I get to that coveted, I feel great, I might as well fast until January kind of thing that people say, which I in 27 days have not experienced yet. But hey, might be possible. So if you're fasting, keep it up and I'll be there right along with you.